Welcome everybody. My name is Nathan Fields, and this is an appreciation for the 20 death row exonerees from Illinois. This event is sponsored by Witness to Innocence and is on behalf of all the 20 men that spent numerous years on death row in Illinois for a crime they didn't commit. Men who were abused, men who suffered the humiliation of being behind bars for something they didn't do, led around with chains, shackles. This is for them.
You can't imagine how happy I am that you all are here. And even more than that, how happy I am. I was not on death row in Illinois, but I was on death row, and all death rows are the same. They mean to take your life away without too much ceremony, even though they give you a little ceremony so that it looks better in the press and so forth. But I was in Florida on death row, and have been struggling with this thing for a very, very long time. I also need to say a couple of words about the venue where we are. This is the Southside Community Arts Center, which has been here since circa about 1940. It's dedicated by the late Eleanor Roosevelt. Richard Wright read his short stories in this room. Gwendolyn Brooks recited her poetry here. So for me, it's a sacred spot, and you can see from some of the works around the wall. There are so many people who need to be mentioned, so many people who fought like valiantly and courageously all these years to make this thing come about. And as you know, there are 34 more states where they still say off with his head, or in some cases off with her head, and they kill people, and it's all within the United States of America. So until all those 34 are gone, I will, and my grandchildren for as long as I can, and then my grandchildren, and if necessary, their grandchildren, to make America, as Langston Hughes would say, just to paraphrase him a little bit, what it ought to be, because it ain't yet. This poem is called 3-9-11, and for those of you who are really sharp, you will know that, remember that 3-9-11 is when Governor Ryan signed the bill abolishing the death penalty in this state of Illinois and in the land of Lincoln. I could talk for a long time because I like to do that, but I'm not, because we have a lot of people to introduce and other people have things to say. I am a representative of the organization called Witness to Innocence, which is made up of exonerees and their friends and family. It's the greatest organization of its kind in these United States. Not just saying that because the executive director's here and watching me. I'm not just saying it, I really mean it. I wouldn't say it otherwise. The poem is called 3-9-11. This day, 3-9-11 is a day for celebration in this state called the land of Lincoln. No more death row from east to north and from south to west in Illinois. And it's about time. After 20 men have been released because of the grace of God and the hard work of human beings with righteous hearts have made it so, and now we know that we, even we in Illinois, are victims to human fallibility and are prone to mistakes of identity and the mistakes of poverty and the mistakes of fear and, oh yes, the mistake of race and of being in the wrong place. That's my granddaughter. That's why she's carrying on like that.
That's okay. That's okay,
Dylan. This moment is born from the work of a host of nameless and well-known human beings of conscience who have bravely fought and overcome a broken, inhuman, and brutal system. These are they who have moved our political process to this curious moment. I, poet, salute you all. No more death row in Peoria and Cicero and Effingham and 1,000 other cities and towns throughout this land of Lincoln, because Governor Quinn signed the bill that State Senator Kwame Raoul pushed up the hill of the Illinois Senate, and Representative Karen Yarborough battled for and shepherded through the House of Representatives. We salute all of these who have sought for and fought for an equitable system of justice and for this state that is proud to be called the land of Lincoln. No more death row. Chicago and Rantoul and Rockford, and it's about time. We have become a more integral member of what we like to call the civilized world, and as I said before, it's about time. Hail and congratulations to murder victims' families for reconciliation and the Illinois Coalition to Abolish and the campaign to end it, and to Alice Kim and Nan and Dick Kuntz and Bill Ryan and 10,000 more who have marched and fought and wished and hoped and sang and prayed for this day. And as is likely that there be innocent ones who were wrongfully struck down before this day, we pray for forgiveness. Men and women are fallible. No more death row in Springfield. The governor has signed his name to the bill from the people, and it is law. This is a good day here in Illinois. Thank all of you for coming out.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you here. I said it's good to see you here.
Okay. I know where you're coming from.
Randy didn't tell the truth. I didn't even know what was going on. It's that man back there, the strategist. Jeremy had a plan. He had a plan of action, and I'm glad I was part of that plan. I'm glad that he reached out to me to carry this bill. I gotta tell you though, when he came to me to ask me to carry this most important bill, I was afraid to carry it. And I was afraid because I didn't want it not to be successful. Have you ever been there where something is just so big, you feel like you might not be able to carry it? Well, that's where I was when he came to me. I mean, I've been a supporter, and I said I could speak to this on the House floor, put my name on the bill as a co-sponsor. I'll talk to some of my colleagues, but to carry this bill. So, Randy, that guy over there, he had a plan, and you and I think both were part of that plan. This man became the focal point, though, and I gotta tell you that it was a source of strength for me every single time I walked out of the House floor and I saw him standing there. And I could see in his eyes, he was asking the question, today? Will we do it today? And I would always have to tell him, Randy, you know what, we got this is going to happen. And every day that I went back to my apartment, I would think about, I need to do this and I need to do that. And I talked to Jeremy so much, I know his wife thinks we're having an affair. And I don't talk to my husband, and he's back there too. By the way, acknowledge my husband, Henderson Yarbrough. Is also a public servant. He serves as the mayor of the village of Maywood. But he knows how important this was to me. I don't know that I got a lot of sleep over this period of time, but it was just so important. It was so important to get this done. And Randy, every time, like I said, I'd come out, I'd see him, and every day I'd just draw from some strength from up there to take the next steps. So I'm glad to be a part of this process. But when I tell people about what we got done, this wasn't a singular, this was a cast of thousands. These were people from all across the United States and people pushing in the same direction. And incrementally, every day, we'd get it done. The roll call would go up and then it would go down. Then it would go up and down. And then the day came when we were going to call this bill and get it done. And while it went down, it wasn't because I didn't have what we needed to pass it. It's somebody lost their way, but somebody found their way, and we got it done in the House. And when you look at Kwame Raoul, he was honored to carry the bill. Honored. He said this is probably the most significant bill he's carried in his life, and I agree with him because it's about life and death. So I'm glad to be amongst those who were on the battlefield to get this job done. And I'm glad that you all are here, right here, in this place with us. And I know that the battle is not over. those of you who may or may not know, there's still a battle in Springfield. Somebody has introduced bills to, roll this back before we even get started. But you know what? I'm still there. And there are a number of us still there. And we will continue to fight. And I had a conversation just yesterday with the gentleman that, brought that bill forward. And I told him, I will be there. I'm going to be right there fighting him tooth and nail. Now, right now we got that bill bottled up. We got it bottled up right now, and thanks to Jeremy, he's got some real nice amendments for that bill. And they're not going to like any of those amendments. And I loaded it up with it's a mess right now. They don't even know how to untie it. But it took a long time to get here. This took the advocates years and years and years to do this. Not on my watch, though. We're not rolling it back on my watch. So, Randy, if you're going to be here, and all the rest of the exonerees, and you're going to be here, and we're going to continue this fight, because it's not over.
All right.
God bless you all. Thank you.
Welcome everybody. My name is Nathan Fields, and this is an appreciation for the 20 death row exonerees from Illinois. This event is sponsored by Witness to Innocence and is on behalf of all the 20 men that spent numerous years on death row in Illinois for a crime they didn't commit. Men who were abused, men who suffered the humiliation of being behind bars for something they didn't do, led around with chains, shackles. This is for them.
You can't imagine how happy I am that you all are here. And even more than that, how happy I am. I was not on death row in Illinois, but I was on death row, and all death rows are the same. They mean to take your life away without too much ceremony, even though they give you a little ceremony so that it looks better in the press and so forth. But I was in Florida on death row, and have been struggling with this thing for a very, very long time. I also need to say a couple of words about the venue where we are. This is the Southside Community Arts Center, which has been here since circa about 1940. It's dedicated by the late Eleanor Roosevelt. Richard Wright read his short stories in this room. Gwendolyn Brooks recited her poetry here. So for me, it's a sacred spot, and you can see from some of the works around the wall. There are so many people who need to be mentioned, so many people who fought like valiantly and